We may never, in retrospect, know the answer with certainty about SARS-CoV-2, but we should put in place the scientific instrumentality and collaboration that will enable us to learn any future origin of an emerging infection. It's hard to estimate how easy or difficult it may be to really nail down every aspect of SARS-CoV-2. There could be additional investigation in animal species to show, for example, where the virus can thrive in bat species or others. There may be some further inquiries about the intermediate hosts and what may be carriers or intermediaries between humans and the species of actual origin. But at the moment, that's still speculative. And it is not certain, in my mind, that we will get to the bottom with a high degree of confidence. We can learn from it. And most importantly to me is learning for the ability to predict, anticipate, and interdict a future outbreak. Well, the major challenges for SARS-CoV-2 include the fact that it's so long after the origin of the virus before an investigation begins. You'll have to go back genetically to look at the specific sequence of the earliest detected viruses. You'll have a very challenging time of isolating in a precise way the locus of emergence. You may know it's in a region or even a city, but then beyond that, exactly what the transmission will be, that's going to be very challenging to sort out with a great deal of specificity and confidence. One thing we can be pretty certain is that there will be many retrospective assessments, official, unofficial, sanctioned, unsanctioned, global, national. All aspects of the SARS-CoV-2 experience are going to be subject to intensive reflection and lessons gained. Those that are undertaken already, sponsored by the World Health Organization, have, as is typical, very broad representation of countries around the world, a wide spectrum of expertise being brought to bear on the questions, and they may yield very important lessons about the institutional approach, as well as about the problem more generally about emerging infection. There's no doubt in my mind that if we approach questions such as the origin of the virus from a scientific point of view, from a point of view of learning for the future, rather than casting blame for the past, we're much more likely to gain the collaboration, cooperation, and joint work that will be necessary to get to the bottom of the virus. So if we overly politicize the issue from the outset, if our purpose is to cast blame rather than to learn and to prepare better for the future, we handicap our own ability to do better the next time. One can hope that we will learn a number of critical lessons. Lesson number one is that preparation is much more than having a plan. A plan is necessary, but you actually have to have the needed equipment in place. You need to have the resources available, and you need to maintain a public health enterprise that is capable of protecting the public in the case of an outbreak or a pandemic. Number two, we have learned that we need to understand much more about the origin and nature of emerging infection. And we can undertake these studies. We can learn about the environments in which animals, humans, interact in ways that promote the emergence of infection. And finally, we can learn that it's a globally interdependent world when it comes to detecting and managing emerging infections. We have to work cooperatively around the world to rapidly detect and respond appropriately to these global threats.